Are you one of those fans who really don't want this to happen? Hello, I'm Wayne and welcome to Goals by the Numbers. In another episode, today's episode, we're going to speak about Noni Madueke, who looks as if he's about to leave Chelsea for about £50 million and sign for Arsenal, the London rivals. Let's get straight into it. So, Arsenal lining up another signing. Um, Madueke was signed for Chelsea in a deal that will cost around £50 million. Now, until the deal was actually signed, sealed, and delivered, we don't actually know the exact figure, but from various reports I've seen, it's anything between 50 and £55 million. So there we go. Um, Arsenal appear to be doing more business in a determined effort to make sure that when the next season begins, not only are they going to be one of the favourites, they want to be the ones who win and take home the prize. And as a fan of an opposition team, it's nice to see a club who actually have ambitions to do something and have identified gaps in their team and or squad and are going forward to make the positive changes. Arsenal haven't actually won the league since the 2003-2004 season, which was over 20 years ago. I didn't realise it was that long, but I guess as life goes by, time flies, right? Hopefully you're having fun. Um, in terms of actual silverware, the last thing Arsenal won was the FA Cup in the 2019-20 season. That is assuming we don't count the Community Shield, which was won a season or two afterwards. I wouldn't count the Community Shield from them because I regard them as a big club. I don't think a big club would count that, but if you disagree, that's what the comments are for, right? So Madueke, what do we know about him? Born and raised in North London, he spent time in the youth teams of Crystal Palace and Tottenham. And when it came to signing a professional contract, rather than signing at Spurs, and despite a few other clubs, including Manchester United, making a play for him, he decided to make the jump, leave the UK or England, and go and join PSV in Holland. Madueke was part of a group of talented English-born prospects who decided to move to Europe in search and in the hope of becoming first-team players quicker than they expected to in the Premier League. Historically, many youth players don't come straight through and go straight into the men's senior team and just play. And there is like a process of loaning them out to lower league clubs to gain what is actually vital experience, but experience all the same. But this group of players, age 16, 17, 18, decided actually my best opportunity is to go abroad and make a name for myself there. This was all around 2018, and one of the biggest names of that group would have been Jadon Sancho. And in fact, Jadon Sancho's move to Borussia Dortmund and watching him play and then the numbers he was producing is why Manchester United actually paid 70 odd million pounds for him because it seemed like an absolute no-brainer. And that has not worked out well at all. But how times have changed. I digress. In the 23-24 season, Madueke moved to Chelsea for 28.5 million. So he came back to the UK, back to London. And after 4 seasons at PSV, including a season of playing in their reserves or youth team, in terms of stats, he has increased year upon year in terms of his starts, minutes played, goals, and assists. So as he's becoming more experienced, he's playing more game time, which is good. It's what you want to see from a young player who's moved to a bigger club and getting involved, right? You don't want to see him just in and out of the team. So, signing Madueke will add to Arsenal's squad depth, and statistically, he is a similar player to Gabriel Martinelli, who's been at the club for what feels like a lifetime, but I am aware that he joined when he was really young. So you join young, it just seems like you've been there longer than you actually have, and yeah, it's not like Martinelli was starting 30 games a season at 16. So you become aware of players, and it goes from there, right? I had a list of stats where Madueke particularly excels, but the stats allude to a player who scores as opposed to create. So that, I suppose, leans into the Martinelli comparison, and I guess the aim would be to be like a Mo Salah with his less assists. Um, the stats lead into that. Watching him, he seems like a player who, great runner, great dribbler, wants to score goals. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? The glory, the fans, the cameras. Um, in terms of Madueke and his dribbling, there aren't any players in the top leagues who are making as many dribbles as him per 90. In fact, looking at the stats, the average is 3.58 progressive carries per 90, others known as dribbling with the ball. And Madueke, he's hitting 6.82. So it's not quite double, but it's close to double, at least double the average. In fact, there are quite a few players in the Premier League who statistically are similar to Madueke, those being Harvey Barnes at Newcastle, Mitoma at Brighton, great player Mitoma, and Diaz at Liverpool. One thing that does come to mind is the transfer fee. So there are quite a few players moving around in and around the 50 to 60 million bracket. That just seems to have become the price for, not the price for an average player, but the average price to play for a solid player in the Premier League. So we could think of, Cunha, Kudos, Madueke. Um, yeah, a couple of things stick out. A couple of things do stick out in my mind when it comes to Madueke. He he did fall out, or did at least become. He did get the ire of Wolves fans after he played for Chelsea against Wolverhampton away. He tweeted that Wolverhampton was an absolute. He was negative about the city and made it quite clear he wanted to leave and go back home, just anywhere. Then proceeded to score a hat trick in the game against Wolves. And when interviewed, he achieved Man of the Match award due to how he performed, one of the first things he did was to apologise to the fans, say, "I'm really sorry I offended." I thought, okay, fair enough. You know, shows that he's a decent person. And the other thing that comes to mind is the fact that Arsenal fans have started a petition to protest against him signing for them. I've looked at some of the comments. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but you wouldn't call him kind. As a Man United fan, and knowing that we bought Mason Mount from Chelsea, there seems to be a bit of a thing where Chelsea sell players for good money to other teams in the Premier League, and the players go there and something just goes dramatically wrong. So I can understand why some Arsenal fans would be very hesitant to sign a player from Chelsea. Of course, we look at the numbers, and that's our primary focus here on this channel and the community that we're going to build. So numbers-wise, Madueke is a good choice. No issues. Makes sense. Will score goals. Playing with Gyökeres, who currently looks like he's about to go on an actual full strike to get his move from Sporting Club Portugal to Arsenal finalised. Him and Madueke in the transition will definitely get a couple of goals and catch a few teams by surprise. Having both of them in the squad cannot help. When I think of the players that Arsenal have who can play wide, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, and then Madueke. Saka was injured for quite a period of time last season, so having Madueke in the squad as well will just mean that they've got more cover. And of course, any Premier League manager would want as many players as he could buy. Obviously, we know it's not realistic because you've got to manage a squad and so on and so forth. But I don't think you can ever have too much quality squad depth, which seems to be the point of signing Madueke in the first place. So I guess at this point we'll have to wait and see if the deal will go through, how the Arsenal fans will react when the deal goes through, and I guess that's it really. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your opinions down below. What do we think? Do we think Madueke will be a good signing? Do we think Chelsea are pulling the wool over Arsenal's eyes? Will the Wolves fans still continue to not be his greatest group of supporters after he moves? Guess we'll find out soon enough. Catch you in the next one.